Sexy holidays to you. Sexy holidays to you. May your merry bells keep a-ringing and your fantasies come true. May each friend you meet bring you more body heat. May your merry bells keep a-ringing and sexy holidays to you. Isn't that cute? Isn't that true? Everybody likes a little holiday nookie. Well, hello there, guys and gals, animal friends and spirit pals, and welcome to the channel. I am so happy to be with you all tonight. You know, I was back there with the Spirit Whisperer a little earlier, and I helped him off to a long winter's nap, and I thought this would be the perfect time to come in here and sneak on his computer and say howdy to all my beautiful friends out there in the LubeTube land. I'm so happy that I have so many of you. And I just couldn't let the holidays go completely by without wishing you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, a terrific Kwanzaa, a Happy Hanukkah, solstice greetings, or whatever it is you might celebrate. I don't care. And if you don't celebrate anything, well, I'm sorry for you. Anyway, this is the time for merriment, and it's my favorite time of year because everybody is just in the giving spirit. And I'm the gal to give it to, if you know what I mean. Now, we've been pretty busy here at the house. I had a little Christmas soiree on Christmas Eve, and then I came over here at the Spirit Whisperer's house on Christmas because he had a big old party, with all his fancy friends and, hobnobbing with them all. He had every type too, everything you could think of, gay and straight and men and women and everything in between. It was quite a festive party, and I liked it. I came over. Oh, one moment, I got to have a little drink here. You know what I'm having tonight? I'm having a little bit of wassail. Now, wassail, you drink it hot. It's like a hot punch. And it's delicious. Now, I added a couple little shots of this and that just to, give it a little bit of a pick-me-up. But boy, is it good. Let me have a little sip here. That is some mighty good wassail. I hope y'all had some wassail or some eggnog or something to lift your spirits up to this fine Christmas season. Now, let's see, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I came over to the Spirit Whisperer's house, and I brought something like I won't ever go anywhere empty-handed, and I was telling all his big old snotty friends that I brought something for later, a little sweet something for everybody, to have a little bite of, a little taste of. Oh, and they all started a screaming and a snorting and a snotting like they never heard of such a thing. It was so old-fashioned, and they weren't going to taste it. They weren't going to even get anywhere near it. Weren't going to touch it with the 10-foot candy cane. But I didn't have any worries because, guess what? After a few cups of eggnog, every person there, man, woman, boy, girl, gay, straight, they were all lining up to get a little taste of my figgy pudding. I'm telling you, they ain't never had nothing like it. Now, once they all got their fill, I came on home. It was late, and they were a lot to deal with. So I went on home. Now, I would have gone right to bed, but old Santa Claus had left a present for me while I was at the Spirit Whisperer's house. Can you believe it? I was so excited. Now, Santa thought I'd been a very good girl this year, and of course I have been, and he gave me just what I was hoping for. Oh, I was so excited. So there under my tree was a brand new pair of binoculars, just like I wanted. And you know what? They are state of the art. Too, they're top of the line. Now these here suckers, they got them some telescopic lenses that they come jutting out. You know, you can screw them out and they come out farther there. They also got this attachment for night vision. Oh my goodness, I can see a flea off a dog's butt a mile away. I'm telling you, they're good, and they're clear, crystal clear. So I was trying them out, just to see if they were going to work, and I was, checking out the Spirit Whisperer and his party and just seeing how it was going. And everybody was gone except for this one man dressed up in a Santa suit. And I tell you, I saw more than Marky kissing Santa Claus. They were rocking around that Christmas tree and rolling too, if you know what I mean. Oh, and you should have seen. The Spirit Whisperer had on the cutest little outfit. Now, he changed into this, obviously, after I left. But it was the cutest thing. It had this big hat. It was an elf's hat, but it was all covered in rhinestones, all colors, mostly green and red, but it had a few other little sparkling colors thrown in there. And then a pair of matching elf shoes. Oh, they were so pretty. I would like to have a pair of them myself. He did look like something, I tell you. And then besides that, the only other thing he was wearing, he had on this big furry Christmas stocking, hanging on to his genitals. Now, I tell you, that Santa was going to have a surprise when he went to stuff that stocking. Don't you think? Oh, I watched a little while, and they showed me some things I didn't know, and then I went on to bed. Now, I told the Spirit Whisperer that I'd come over here and help him clean up the house today, and that was my ruse to come over. I knew he'd be tuckered out, and we'd send him right on to bed, and then I could come on and have a little fun with you all. What do you think? Okay. I hope everybody had a wonderful time with your families and your loved ones. And I hope, too, that you had yourself a little holiday nookie. I know I did. What would the holiday be without it? Well, I thought, that I'll do a little bit of tarot tickling tonight. And I don't have a lot of time, but I might do a reading or two. Now, let's see who I might read on here first. Oh, the whole lube tube and the internets and everybody's just up in arms because they're going, why didn't Granny Manny do a reading of me? Well, I'm generous. I'm generous to a fault. And I will just give away readings one after another. But, I don't have all that much time just to read everybody under the sun. But I will try to include maybe one or two in tonight's tickling. Okay? We'll see what happens. Now, the first thing I wanted to do, though, I want to check in on the Spirit Whisperer and just see if this relationship with old Santa Claus is going to amount to anything, or if it's just a short-term kind of a situation here we got going. So I thought I'd check that out and just see if the Spirit Whisperer is going to have some Santa nookie into the new year. That would be something, don't you think? Let's look and see. Now, usually he doesn't have a lot of luck in that department. But it's a new year coming. Maybe his luck will change. Let's see here. Okay, let me call in my little small voice to help me in this one. Uh-oh. One of them cards fail. I'll put that one out then. And we'll go ahead and draw us a couple of more just to see if there's more of a story that we don't know about yet. It's about, some fun and frolic in the new year with his new Santa buddy. Santa and the elf. Okay, there's another card we're going to put down there. Uh-oh, uh-oh. One more card and we'll see what he's got going. Oh, uh-oh. Well, Unfortunately, it don't look that good. I wish I could just, make up something, but I can't. I just have to go with what the cards are showing me. Now, first of all, it looks pretty good. Look at here. Now, he's got, let me see if I can get that in better. There we go. He's got here the Ace of Pentacles. Now, that looks good. That's a nice Christmas gift there. Look at that. A spinning round and round like a top. Now, unfortunately, this card is in the past. So that's what him and old Santa Claus was doing, under that tree on Christmas night. And it was pretty fun, It was like a gift from heaven. A gift from candy cane heaven, according to these cards. And that's pretty good. Now, presently, here he sits, a grabbing on, a hanging on to them Christmas memories. That Christmas tumbling and rumbling, rocking and rolling under the tree. He's got them memories just grasped and held onto his chest, to hell won't have it. He's got them all there hugged up, got them possessed. He's not going to let them go. He's hanging on to them memories and wishing for more. Now, that's the spirit whisperer here in the present, right now, back there dreaming, in his bed. Now, here's the future. Look at there. Heartache when it comes to Santa. See, there's that Santa Claus hat on a heart and all them icicles are poking through it. So that looks like there's going to be heartache when it comes to Santa, and maybe there won't be much more fun. Maybe 3 nights of fun, but then after that, probably no more. So I'm going to say, after New Year, Spirit Whisperer is going to have to look somewhere else for his, dalliances and, nookie looking. There you go. I'm sorry, Spirit Whisperer. I wanted it to be a little better news, but alas and alack, it is not. Now let's do another little reading here. What I'd like to read on is, that old orange Oompa Loompa. Now, I'm sick of reading on him, to tell you the truth. I'm about sick of hearing of him, too. But as long as he's going to have his face out there for me to look at, then I'm going to keep reading him, until he just disappears out of my eyesight. And I'd like to know what that old Oompa Loompa can look forward to in the new year, or at least for the rest of this year. I have a feeling his and his family's Christmas wasn't all that merry. I don't know why I think that. Maybe it has something to do with Mary Trump, but they haven't had the greatest time, I don't think. But let's see how this last week is going to look for them. Maybe there will be something else to come into their lives and bring them a little merriment and joy here at the end of the year. Okay, cards. Now tell me and tell me true. What's going on with the Oompa Loo? Here we go. Now this deck of cards here is a new one that the Spiritual Whisperer got, and it's pretty big and pretty thick. It's got a lot of cards in it, and I don't even know if I can read them, but I'm going to try. My little small voice can usually help me out if I get stuck. Okay, let's look at here. Old Oompa Loompa. Okie dokie. I'm going to promise some cards here. There's one that came out. Guess my spirit guide's here to work with me. It's a lot less lonely that way. And plus my guides are always joking and everything like that, and teasing me. Or remind me to tell you a little story they told me earlier. It's a hoot. Okay, one more card. All right, and let's see what we got going on here. Okay, now this is for the week, this last week of the year. We'll see what's happening. Well, it don't look that good, and I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to talk about it here on the Loop Tube, because this here is just for entertainment purposes only, and I wouldn't want to get anything mixed up. You know what? I'll try a different deck. Why don't I try this happy little Christmas deck? It'll probably give us a message that I'm able to repeat. on the tube. Some things are just not speakable amongst mixed company, if you know what I mean. Let's see here if these cards have a better take on what's in store for the Oompa Loompa. Okay, then there's one right there. See what else we got going here for this last week. Well, I see that he's going to be spending a lot of time this final week with his girls, his little daughter and his wife. I think that's what we still call her, but both of them are there, holding out their hands, looking for gifts. That's the Queen of Cups, and it's also the Queen of Pentacles. And, they both consider themselves queens because they got the King Jerkface there as their family member. So they're going to be spending some time with both of them, and they got their hands out looking for gifts. But I think the only gifts they're going to get are the gifts of illusion and delusion. Looks like there's a lot of things coming in, but nothing very useful. It's all kinds of tricks and treats. Now, they look like they might be fun and festive, but when you get to the bottom of the cup, it's not something you want to drink. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, people. They already drunk it, and I think they're going to be drinking even more over the holidays. So that's that on them. Boy, oh boy, they just never learn, do they? I swear to Pete, they don't learn nothing. Now, I think I'll do a little reading on one of them YouTube people, those that keep a begging and a screaming for me to read on them. It's fun to be popular like that and have everybody wanting your talents. So I was looking over the loop tube and I saw this new person that I liked quite a bit. Now, she reminded me a little bit of me because she's pretty outspoken. She don't put up with nothing. She's also a little randy, a little bit horny like me, but I like that about her. I say, go for it, as long as you can. Just go for it. And her name, let's see, what's her name now? Linda B. Comanche Banshee. That's it. She's a Comanche and she's a Banshee, let me tell you. She gets these strong messages from Spirit, and she don't let nothing stop her. She'll just spit them right out no matter where she is. She could be at lunch with some friends who don't know nothing about nothing, and all of a sudden she'd go, hold on. I got a message, and here it goes. Now sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's not so good. It just depends on what you're doing at the time. Now, what if she's making whoopee with somebody, and all of a sudden she said, hold on, it's flooding down under. Now, there's a few ways you could interpret that. It might just scare him right off. He's running for cover, and all you was doing is a little weather report. So she got to be careful with that. But she is pretty talented, I tell you. And her, guides are loud. They're loud and proud. They shout in her ear, and she just shouts it right out to you. So let's see if there's anything in store for that Comanche Banshee here at the end of the year. What might, the spirit of Christmas and merriment be bringing to her right here at this time? Let's see what we can see. Come on, a tarot cards. Let's tickle my fancy. Oh, there's one that's just trying its best to get out. There you go. See here. Okay. Oh, look at that. Yep. See, she's busy. She's going to be busy now. Doing some arts and some crafts and things like that. Keeping herself busy. Oh, no, that's not what that is. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see what we got going. Well, I can see here that her talents and skills are going to just keep a growing and a growing, and she's going to become world renowned. Look at that. They're going to hear of her all around the world because her message is spreading like wildfire. Look at that. And it's going to be reaching out to everybody and bringing them all together. Now, that's a pretty good card if you ask me. Now, she's been meditating on things she wants in the future and working on them. Now, she appreciates a fine hunk of man. Now, I know that about her. And she has been doing some spells and casting some spells on attracting one for her. Now, what I can tell her is that in the future, she does have to be a little careful because, it could be like a fox in the hen house. So she's got to have to kind of watch things just a little bit and make sure that this is a wolf and not a fox that comes to her door. But I do see her attracted just the right man for her. Look at that. Look at that. Now that is something to stare at. Yep. He's got his legs all spread, got on a big old headdress. He's sitting there in a position that I can only imagine what it's for. And that's what's coming to her future. Now, isn't she lucky? I think so. I'd be lucky if I saw that in my future. I tell you what. Oh, my little small voice was wanting me to tell you this. Did y'all hear the story about, it was a kind of a sad Christmas story, but it was about the Dinkies, Mr. and Mrs. Dinky. Did you hear that? I don't think so. Well, I hope not. Anyway, I'm going to tell it to you now. So, there was this couple, Mr. and Mrs. Dinky, and it was getting close to Christmas, and Mrs. Dinky had saved up all of her money all year because she wanted to buy her husband this big old carving knife that he had been wanting and asking for. And so she had it, and she wrapped it all up, had it under the tree ready for Christmas. She was so excited. And there it was, Christmas Eve night, and Mrs. Dinky said, "Okay, honey, let's open up our presents." And believe it or not, Mr. Dinky said, "Oh my God, I completely forgot to get you anything." Can you imagine? And he said, "But if you don't mind, I'd like to have my present anyway." Well, that did it. And she flew off the deep end, and she grabbed that carving knife, she unwrapped it, she grabbed it, and she just chopped him to pieces until he was dead as a doorknob on Christmas Eve. Now, of course, the police came, they arrested her, and, she went, had a jury and a trial, and they convicted her, being a murderer, Christmas murder, and then the judge was going to sentence her to death. But before he did, he looked at her, and he was just looking at her in disgust. And he said, "You cut off his head. You cut off his feet. You cut off his legs. You cut off his arms. How could you, Mrs. Dinky?" Isn't that cute? Isn't that true? How could you, Mrs. Dinky? It was right out there in the open. Oh, I love that. It is so funny. I hope y'all got a good laugh out of that. That's just a little joke that my little small voice was telling me earlier. And I thought I'd share that with you all too. Well, it looks like I better get on. I got a lot of cleaning to do, and I got to get my scrub brush out and put on my cleaning gloves, It looks like this little buttercup here is ready for us to get to work. So I'm going to wish you all the best new year, and I hope I see you sooner than later. Now, what will help me, of course, if you all will just get up off your lazy butts, and I say that with all love, and push that thumbs up button for your Granny Manny. Give me some little present for Christmas. That's all I'm asking, is a thumbs up. All right, you all. I love you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.